We've gotten a literal metric ton of these types of movies lately, chronicling a famous musician's life, half drama, half big concert experience, but the king of pop himself is getting the treatment right now. So is this one actually any good? Let's talk about it. Michael is the latest in a long line of recent musical biopics, and it tells the story of Michael Jackson and his life beyond the music, tracing his journey from the discovery of his extraordinary talent as the lead of the Jackson 5 to the visionary artist whose ambition fueled a relentless pursuit to become the biggest entertainer in the entire world. So I get decent enough enjoyment out of this slew of musical biopics we've been getting recently, as much as the next guy does, but I obviously prefer them when they actually go out of their way to feel as authentic as humanly possible. You know, my mind goes back to something like Bohemian Rhapsody about Freddie Mercury and Queen, right? Not a bad movie and pretty entertaining on the surface, sure, but kind of sanitized and hollow when you consider that it just blows past all of the turmoil to focus on the good old glory days. Give me a film like Better Man about Robbie Williams that isn't afraid to emotionally bear it all any day of the week, which it somehow finds a way to do while starring a CGI monkey. Go figure. So when I sat down to watch this movie, I really wasn't sure which path it was going to take, right? Because Michael Jackson, obviously one of the most prolific musical artists that we've ever had, but he's also no stranger to controversy and scandal now, is he? Come on now. Was this just going to be a full-on celebration of his early work, or were they actually willing to show us a little bit more of the full picture here? Well, after watching this movie and finding out that a part 2 is supposedly coming later on, Michael doesn't go nearly as deep emotionally or leave as much of an impact as I was hoping it would, and even though it has its crowd-pleasing moments and is anchored by a couple of great lead performances, it ultimately felt like it was holding a lot back. When it comes to the story they decided to go with, what you get here is effectively the inception of the Jackson 5 band, all the way up to the release of Michael's solo album, Bad, and it does a good job of quickly telling you what type of person Michael Jackson is, while also showing you the environment that he grew up in. There are various nods to the loneliness that he felt, how he didn't have a true childhood when he was growing up, and the immense pressure he was under as he was trying to make it as a solo artist. And even though I wish we explored those aspects a little bit further, there are enough nuggets from time to time that just at least show that they planted the seeds to show you what his backstory was away from the spotlight. Then, of course, you have the part of the story that many more people know when it comes to his rise to fame within the public eye and all of the different ways that he changed pop music forever. And all of that is super fun to follow. But you can kind of tell that this was supposed to be one big complete movie that got chopped up, though. Like, I'm not going to say that the ending was abrupt, so to speak, but you could definitely tell that there was more to come. And I'm just generally not really a fan of breaking up complete stories into multiple parts unless it's absolutely necessary. It kind of gives off a money grab vibe when it happens. If it takes 3.5 hours to effectively explore this narrative, then that's how long I want the theater experience to be right then and there, which is not what they decided to do with this movie. When it comes to the performances in this film, everyone is going to be talking about how much Jaafar Jackson and Colman Domingo embody their roles in this one, and obviously it helps a little bit when the makeup and the prosthetics are top tier like they are in this case, but they really dish out some good work over the course of this movie. Jaafar Jackson absolutely does his thing here as Michael Jackson. I mean, he talks like him, he moves like him, and he looks like him during the entire film. You're gonna think you're watching at some point just like archival authentic footage because the likeness is just that impressive and all-encompassing. For a kid who had never acted in a movie before, having his first mission be playing his uncle, who's one of the most well-known and talented performers that ever lived, I was pretty impressed by what he brought to the table. And then you have Colman Domingo, who does such a good job as the tough and overbearing father figure of the Jackson family, and it's a weird combination because you so obviously know it's him underneath that makeup and costume when you get your first peek at him. But as the story goes on, his acting feels so natural and real, you kind of forget that a big-name actor is portraying him. It's just such a good role. Yeah, no notes from me when it comes to our two lead performances here, but I just have to shout out Giuliano Crew Valdi. He's the young kid who plays Michael Jackson at the beginning of this movie. He makes use of every second of screen time he has, and the kid is going places. We got to talk about the choreography and the visuals riddled throughout the film here, because obviously Michael Jackson, top-tier entertainer in the highest sense of the word, he wanted his concerts to showcase that as much as possible. And I think for the most part, the sequences of him actually performing are handled to a decent level, and Jaafar Jackson's out there hitting all the right moves, but the direction just isn't that interesting overall in the rest of the movie. Antoine Fuqua is the guy sitting in the director's chair with this task in front of him, and I just don't think he hits a complete home run here. I mean, look, I love the movie Training Day. I'm a fan of the film Shooter, but that's his lane. That's his sweet spot, these kind of mid-budget action dramas. So it kind of surprised me when I heard that this was going to be his next project. Just didn't know what to expect. Like, I just don't think there are any moments in here that are going to leave you like, holy shit, I got to look up who directed this thing, which is too bad because Michael Jackson himself was a larger-than-life showman that would leave it all out on the stage on a nightly basis. It has some good moments, and I enjoyed all of the concert sequences, but they're not special because of the direction that's going on here. Big missed opportunity there. Overall, guys, when it comes to Michael as a whole, I walked out feeling like it's an enjoyable but definitely frustrating first chapter. The performances, especially from Jaafar Jackson and Colman Domingo, do a ton of the heavy lifting, and the musical sequences capture enough of that larger-than-life energy that made Michael Jackson who he was. But the movie never fully digs into the emotional layers that it's hinting at, and splitting this into multiple parts keeps it from feeling like a complete experience. It plants the seeds and gives you the highlights, but the full story still feels like it's being saved for later. Michael gets a Sully score of 3 stars. So that's my review of the latest musical biopic. What do you think is your favorite one that we've ever gotten? Already spoiled it earlier in my review. Gotta go with Better Man about Robbie Williams. Give that one a chance if you haven't already. But let me know in the comments below what you think. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys at the next one.